end result the several concession agreement bedeviling the growth of aviation? Because we have several of those concession problems hanging over the aviation sector in Nigeria.
No court matter, no unworkable agreement will hold me down as minister. If you want to go to court, I'll meet you in court. I'm not running away from court. I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria. We'll meet in court. But nobody will say we take judicial, unworkable agreements, that's what I mean, unworkable agreements and all that, to hold us down, to hold a nation down, to hold the progress of a nation down. We know one instance in the park when somebody said, I was the one that was given one road to build. For 10 years, you could not build a road. A major highway in this country, you could not build it. And he didn't want the government to build it. He didn't want any other person to come in. But he said, I was the one that have an agreement to build the road. What's the meaning of that? So and people are dying on that road. People are dying on that road. Now people have dragged themselves to court over one or two of their airports before I came in. Some kind of, they alleged shoddy process about the process and all that. So I will now wait, or the nation should wait, that those airports will remain like that while you battle it to come for the next 15 years.
You won't take that.
Who will take that? Is it me? The nation will not take that.
In the meantime, what do you do to the state of some of the airports? Some of them, I mean, some of the international airports are. We are sometimes there is no AC. Sometimes you even imagine how difficult it is to get all the telcos together and provide a free Wi-Fi in the terminals. You look at the local airport. Some of them, they look like a hut. They look like some very shrine where the airline, and you wonder what it we cannot close them.
We cannot close them. I made them like that. So those are short-term plans we have. You know what I did in Lagos? Remember when I came? First 1-2 weeks. Look, move to the new Chinese. Let's manage this Chinese place that they built. Manage it like this for now, while we do some remedial work in the old place. Because when you are designing a new place, what you do first of all, if you look at all architects, they'll say existing structures. So they take into consideration existing structures. So those are the existing structures that we must manage for now. Now, what did I do? The movements to the Chinese place has helped us. Wing D, you saw the other day, we have refurbished something, the arrival hall in Wing D. They were ourselves and immigration, we cooperated, and Wing E has also been done now. So D and E have been partially opened again, but that was as a result of my directive, because it was when we left that we could get people to come in. Shell came in to D and helped us to do the arrival hall, and we also got people to help us to do Wing D. So now we can manage E and D. So that's how we are going to manage until
Minister, quickly,
we get our master plans afoot and get people, the concessionaires, to come.
Can we get Wi-Fi into the international terminals?
You know what's happened before I came? I just gave a directive now. 2 agencies were fighting who has responsibility for Wi-Fi. This is the kind of problem. Immediately, I've told them, look, one agency, it is your responsibility. Go and take charge of it. And guess what? We're also talking to a Canadian, group. We are going to have Wi-Fi's in our local flight, inside our local flights now. I told them, make it happen. I called DGNC, I said, why don't we have all over the world, switch off your phone, we switch off your phone. That's it, we are far behind. All over the world, you use Wi-Fi now when you are flying. In the whole of America and Europe, you plug onto Wi-Fi, you converse, you do your WhatsApp till you land. So why can't we do that here?
Minister, Nigeria Air, yes. How do you untangle that controversy? Where are we at on that? Well, the issue of national flag carrier.
Well, first of all, let me just say that I have said this before, and I'll say it again. It was not a deal that was good for Nigeria in the long run. The whole composition and the totality of that deal was merely Ethiopian Air flying Nigerian flag. It was not a national carrier. There are two things. A flag carrier is different from a national carrier. So when we were being told that a national carrier was coming, it was not a national carrier. It was a foreign airline trying to fly Nigerian flag. That was not.
So we were
and
deceived.
I tell you,
Nigerians were deceived.
You are using that word. I'm just
because if they told us this, and that's
maybe they didn't know the implication.
And because an airplane was painted,
people were patriots,
and we returned paying Nigerian money. Is any investigation being done to that?
Yes,
you're a lawyer.
Yes. That's why I said maybe you pushed me to say it. EFCC investigating that deal. There's an ongoing EFCC investigation. So people who don't know should know.
So for now, we will hang national flag carrier on one hand until that is resolved.
No. But the point is that I will not prejudice an EFCC investigation, a sister agency. An agency of government, to undermine them. But there is a criminal investigation going on. That is the honest truth. I don't know those who are involved or those who are not involved, but I've called for a report as a minister, so they should give me a preliminary report.
But would you push for a national flag carrier?
I will push for one, and I'm working on one. And guess what? Let me say this publicly now. No local airline will be a carrier, national carrier, a flag carrier. So whoever thinks I'm working to promote one to be a national flag carrier, I'm saying it as a matter of policy. It will be unfair to all the local operators. No local airline will be designated as a flag carrier. I will not do it. We will establish a proper national carrier. And people are talking to us. The Arabs are talking to us. The Chinese are talking to us. The Americans are talking to us on this already. There were better deals on the table. Why did we settle for this? Or why we're trying to settle for this? We have better deals on the table. If you give me 1 hour, I'll go into the intricacies of the proposed agreement.
Unfortunately, we don't have that time. Let me go into some other areas. Just a few days ago, there were reports that the CBN had cleared the backlog of foreign airlines trapped funds. And there are about $700 million that we understand. What is your ministry doing to get the CBN to the trapped funds of our local airlines too? Well, the local airlines are the ones moving the economy. Everything about the aircraft and its maintenance is in foreign currency. Some of these airlines have gone to borrow money, which is the trap money from the bank at nothing less than 26% interest rate. And the feelers are that the federal government is catering to the needs of foreign airlines against the interests of local airlines. Is that fair?
No. Let me explain. You have to give me 2 minutes to explain this. The CBN had cleared their backlog, but there are some still with the commercial bank. But as for federal government now, which comes up to about $160 million, we have cleared the CBN. Those were the ones that were trapped in the CBN because those were promises given by the CBN in their bidding, weekly bidding that they could not meet. The other ones, the airlines should go to the commercial banks, which is a balance of about $600 million. Those are trapped in commercial banks. So that does not concern government again. See, government has showed its own commitment to clear that. However, it was important we address that one first. One, because of the confidence of the foreign investors and people coming into Nigeria that we could meet our obligations. It's very important. And they were threatening to stop flights. Meanwhile, we don't have enough local flights to service those international routes. So we could have had a situation where Nigerians are trapped within Nigeria. They will have to go to other countries to catch international flights. So we needed to settle that first. However, in terms of the local people, what they need the money for, what they need access to the foreign currency for, is to service their international obligations, to repair, which is basically to repair, to have C checks on their aircraft, maintenance, and repairs that they go abroad to do. And they don't have dollars. In fact, they have to go at times to all kinds of places to look for money, to look for foreign currency to service obligation. What am I doing about it? I'm talking to the aviation working group already. And that is the key that we unlock the aviation industry in Nigeria. This thing has been on for 10 years. Nobody listened to it, even other people that came before me. But that is the core of the problem in Nigeria. How do they have access to aircraft? And how do we have access? How do we have access to C checks within Nigeria? So that we don't have to, just local airlines will not be under pressure to look for dollars to go and do C checks abroad. We need to establish our MROs here in Nigeria, which is maintenance, repair, and overhaul facilities. There's none in the whole of West Africa. There's none in the whole of Central Africa, as I speak with you. The one in Ethiopia, Addis Ababa, is for their airline. Egypt has one small one for all their airline. South Africa has one small for their oil, but none again in the whole of Africa. So why don't we have a big country like us? Why don't we have an MRO? That's what I went to Uyo to do the other day. Beautiful thing that they have done there in Uyo. An MRO is 90% complete in Uyo. So I went there to encourage them, to push them. They are about to establish an MRO in Nigeria.
All right.
The aviation working group, they are willing to also give us aircraft on wet lease, on dry lease, not wet lease, on dry lease. And so that we can have access, local operators can have access to aircraft in Nigeria at very good terms, instead of the 26% that our banks offer here. There's no airline in the world, Chewu, that operates its fleet based on full purchase. Even not the Great Emirates, Great Qatar, no. Most of their fleets are on dry lease. Why can't we get it here? Let me tell you what is the problem. They complain, the aviation working group, that our judicial system stifled them. They tried with one airline in the past. You know what happens? They bring the aircraft in, and they are trapped here by all kinds of judicial things. They can't get their assets out of Nigeria again. Based on the Cape Town Convention, what they call the Cape Town Convention, that says that those people, when they bring in aircrafts like that, they should secure those assets for them. That is the basic thing about the Cape Town Convention. So what they asked me to do as minister, they said the first time a senior advocate is here, work on the judicial problem for us. Once you remove those judicial bottlenecks, I've spoken to the Attorney General, those aircrafts will come in. So that is what we are working on now.